We all long to feel good about ourselves and our circumstances, so the idea of positive thinking can be attractive. But simply reciting positive mantras or replacing negative thoughts with uplifting ones is not enough for true self-growth. If we attempt this approach without recognizing our own emotions as valid, it may do more harm than good, leading us down a path of feeling guilty for being in an unfavorable state of mind. High-achieving, sensitive strivers are particularly vulnerable to being triggered by toxic positivity. This can lead them into a self-destructive cycle, as their heightened sensitivity means that they experience and process things more profoundly than most people would. For many sensitive strivers, years of external pressure to be more optimistic and less emotionally invested has caused them to question their own abilities. This internal struggle can manifest in crippling self-doubt, an increased need for approval from others, or the compulsion towards overworking, all signs that something needs attention and care. Self-help gurus espouse the power of positive reinforcement. The idea that if you mentally boost yourself with affirmations like "I am strong and successful," your worries can vanish. It's a powerful tool, suggesting our thoughts have tremendous transformative potential in all aspects of life. Positive thinking can be a great tool to help recognize and harness our abilities. However, its impact is limited if it does not extend into the realm of subconscious thought. There we must contend with negative self-talk and deeply entrenched limiting beliefs that need further attention in order to achieve lasting success. Positive thinking can be a tall order, especially when our minds have become hardwired to believe what we consider negative. Studies show that while affirmations may help those with high self-esteem, they could potentially do more harm than good for individuals who lack confidence and are struggling. Those of us unable to fully accept the positive messages being given will find ourselves in conflict trying to reconcile two ideas which simply cannot exist together. Despite our best efforts to believe in ourselves, it's normal for doubts and fears about work-related performance or accomplishments to creep in. While rumination can be unhelpful at times, replacing negative thoughts with overly positive ones may only provide a short-term solution. However difficult the journey towards self-confidence can seem, remembering that we are all human and have experienced similar feelings along the way is key. Believing in yourself is a powerful tool, but it's often not enough to bring about lasting change. Focusing on developing new skills and behaviors can have more significant and longer-term impacts than relying solely on optimism. Repeating positive self-statements can be a great way to give yourself a boost of confidence and to make sure you are feeling as strong and capable as possible. But it turns out that people who are used to feeling like they aren't good enough or aren't capable of achieving their goals are often unable to internalize the positive affirmations that they are telling themselves. The reasons for this vary from person to person, but in general, the lack of self-confidence that is so common among sensitive strivers is rooted in their history of feeling like they are not good enough. As a result, they are unable to truly believe the positive statements they are making to themselves, leading them to feel worse instead of better. It is important to recognize that this is not a sign of failure. It simply means that sensitive strivers need to approach self-improvement in a different way. Instead of repeating positive affirmations, these individuals should focus on building self-compassion. This means understanding and accepting their own weaknesses and imperfections without being overly harsh or critical. Self-compassion also involves being mindful of the thoughts and emotions you are having without judgment. Instead of trying to push away negative thoughts, sensitive strivers should strive to accept them and recognize that everyone has these thoughts from time to time. When people are able to make peace with their negative thoughts, they are often better able to accept and make use of their positive ones. In this way, sensitive strivers can still benefit from positive affirmations, but in a more meaningful way. By combining self-compassion with positive statements, they can learn to accept and internalize the positive messages they are giving themselves, allowing them to gain the confidence they need to achieve their goals. It's not easy to break free from these thought patterns, especially if they've been around for a long time. But there are ways to reprogram your mind to think more positively and make it easier to maintain this new mindset. The first step is to start paying attention to your thoughts. When you notice that your mind has drifted back to those negative patterns, take a step back and observe them. Don't judge yourself for having the thoughts, but simply observe them and accept that they're there. Once you've done this, you can start to challenge those thoughts and replace them with more positive ones. Another way to reprogram your mind is to use visualization to create a positive mental image. Close your eyes and imagine yourself achieving a goal or living in a positive situation. Hold on to that image for as long as you can and make sure to focus on the good feelings that come along with it. Doing this regularly will help to create new pathways in your brain that will make it easier to stay in a positive mindset. Finally, practice gratitude and appreciation. Make it a habit to find something to be grateful for every day and write it down. Doing this will help to shift your focus away from the negative thoughts and towards the things that you're thankful for. This will help to strengthen your positive thinking habit and make it easier to maintain in the long run. Overall, it's important to remember that it takes time and effort to reprogram your mind to think positively. But with dedication and practice, you can create a new habit of positive thinking that will last for a long time. Negative self-talk and limiting beliefs are deeply entrenched in our subconscious, and they can be incredibly difficult to shift. We all have our own insecurities, fears and doubts, and they can be incredibly persistent. Positive thinking can help us to identify and challenge these negative thoughts, but it is not enough to truly eradicate them. To do this, we must go even deeper and work on changing our subconscious beliefs about ourselves and the world.